When you talk about this simple process where everybody expresses their opinion, I expect that takes a lot of trust, because now I'm expressing an opinion that may not be the winning opinion. Isn't there a lot of issues about, do I hedge my bets to put my opinion out there lest it be stepped on in the process?
Well, I think, again, if the leader just said, now look, we just want to go around and what's your initial take on what we've been talking about, or what is the topic today? And if you just say, and just give us your, nobody's going to hold you to this, we just want to know what your thought is on this. Most people are surprised to be asked that way.
I don't have to go in there with my agenda that I have
Right.
to win. It's
Right.
a zero-sum game. My opinion is going to be the best opinion.
Exactly. So, and you just find that right away you can. It's funny. I've got a little survey I use where I've just asked people about the processes of the group, and they're all about participation and this and this and that. And these are just like I think 6 or 8 items that people have checked off, and then we go about discussing them. Well, is this true of the group? You know, whatever it is. And I have spent 4 hours going over 8 items and having people talk because they feel like they can. And everybody gets to know each other and say, well, you know, you always needle me. I don't want to say anything around here. You needle me. You know, needling is not fun.
That's part of the value of the meeting, I suppose.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, groups can be massaged this way and brought along, and people can be brought out, and the level of trust goes up. And then the leader takes it upon himself to say, you know, you're allowed to be wrong here. You know, we're not going to get good ideas if all you have to do is, all you can be is brilliant around here. So,
I've heard you use the term star facilitator. What is that, and what are the traits of a star facilitator?
well, like going through the CEO thing, you know, it's just something I can sort of spout off a little bit, but it's the absolute truth. Is first of all, and this is important, they're astute selectors. So selection of who you're going to have on the team, you know. Then you're an invisible initiator, and we can talk more about that. You're an invisible initiator. You're a willing worker, meaning you're there rolling up your sleeves and doing what you can to help. You know, you're not just a pretty boy sitting at the top or a pretty girl sitting at the top of the circle. You're a willing worker. You throw in, you make suggestions, you go, you make the trip, you do the research yourself sometime on something. You carry on a conversation, you check out a source, you bring that to the meeting. You're a willing worker. And of course, you're participating in the process. And the fourth, you know, I've sort of touched on this when I talked about the learner of the CEO who, you know, learns things outside the box and brings them back to the box. You're a lifelong learner. So if you're not a lifelong learner, you don't pick people very well, you know, and you're not a willing worker, and you're not an invisible initiator in the sense you find ways to let other people talk. You're not the one who's always doing the talking.
So being a star facilitator is a trait of a good leader.
Yeah, sure, yes. That's why I mentioned facilitator when I talked about the best CEOs. They should be the models of facilitation in the company.
Now you said invisible initiator. Is that speaking, maybe asking a question instead of making a statement? Which most executives like to make statements, not necessarily ask questions. My observation.
It's true. One of the best compliments, a couple of compliments I ever had along the same line, I was talking to a whole sales group of Georgia Pacific one time. And I was just facilitating a group process of the sales force. And at the end of the day, the VP of sales says, I don't know what you did, but it worked. You know what I'm saying? And then once with USG, I was with the top 5 people, the executive committee, and the general counsel. We were on a break, and he said, you know, you start every meeting and you're coordinating this and you're, you know, we take our breaks, we come back and you bring the group back together. He said, but we're the ones doing the work here. He said, you know, you're sort of invisible. And that's where I got that idea. So it doesn't mean you're there with the words, you're there with the presence, and you're there with the facilitator of methods like this thing that is so simple. I'm telling you, it's just fabulous. I mean, it's so simple. It's just simple. I've never met this guy, and a book's right up there in a bookshelf. But I'm so grateful to him because I never heard this simple little exercise, and I use it all the time, and it always works.
Well, I would suspect the highest of compliments is being asked your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think?
Exactly.
Yeah.